Okay, so today we're going to be talking about addition, and we're going to use tricks like making tens and hundreds, as well as breaking up or rounding up, numbers to help us solve addition problems. So this first problem here, we have 3 plus 5 plus 7, and we have to solve for what that equals. So to do that, we're going to make tens. In this case, we can make a 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 we know is 10, and then we can cancel out our 3 and our 7 because we just used this to make a 10, and now we're just left with a 5. So we move the 5 down and add it to our 10 that we just made, and we're left with 15. So if we go into the next problem here, we see that we're trying to solve 4 plus 7 plus 6. So we're going to do the same sort of thing we just did. We're going to make tens. So the way to make a 10 here is going to be the 4 and the 6, because a 4 plus a 7 is an 11, and a 7 plus a 6 is a 13. Neither of those are 10, so 4 and 6 combined to 10. So we get 4 plus 6 equals 10. Now, now we can cross this 4 and a 6 out because we used it. Have a 7 left, so we move the 7 over and add it to the 10 that we just made, and we're left with 17. So hopefully with more practice you get the hang of it, but it's just seeing eventually you'll get to where you can look at the problem and just see the tens being made. So you can look at this problem and see that 2 5s make it 10, and you can just know that you're adding 10 to 4, in which case you get 14. So with practice, that should hopefully come. So let's do another one. 2 plus 9 plus 8. 2 plus 9 plus 8, you're going to make your 10. And how to make a 10 here is you're going to make your 8 and your 2 add up to 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. But we just used our 8 and our 2, so we don't need these in the equation anymore. Now we have a 9, carry over a 9 here. Add it to the 10 that we just made, and we're left with 19. So to do these problems, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to see what two numbers in your equation can add to 10 or a multiple of 10, and then add that to whatever numbers you have left. So if we look at this next problem, 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5. As we said, the goal is to be able to see the tens being that we can create the tens. We said that we can see that a 5 and a 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. So we can cross those two out. But we're left with a 4 and a 6. So what we've been doing is I would say we just do 10 plus 4 plus 6. We carry these over, which is good. True, yes, you can do that. And then you're left with now you're left with this equation of 4 plus 10 plus 6. This is a completely different equation now, just like we've been solving. You make the tens, you say 4 and a 6. That adds up to 10, so you can cancel these out. You're left with this at 10, so you add your 10 together with your other 10, and you're left with 20. So there are two different ways to do the problem. This first way is you find the first 10. It could have been the 4 and the 6, or the 5 and the 5 to get a 10, and then you have the other two numbers left, in which case you treat it as a whole nother equation, finding your other 10. Or you could have just said 4 and 6 and 5 and a 5 make 10 in the first place, and then you're left with 10 plus 10 at the start. Either way works. So for this next problem, 7 plus 8 plus 2 plus 3. So for this problem, we're gonna try and find our tens. First 10 that I see is 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 equals 10. So I can cross out my 8 and 2, and I'm left with this 7 and a 3. But wait, 7 and 3 can make a 10. So if I just say 7 and 3, 7 plus 3 equals 10, I can just do 10 plus 10 equals 20, and I don't have to go to the whole next part of the equation. I can just make both 10s there in the first step. So we get 20 for this one. For our next problem, we have 35 plus 15 plus 65. So to do this problem, what we're going to do is we're going to use the finding 100s and adding to 100, or multiples of 100, in which case I can see 35 plus 65 is equal to 100, so I can cross them out. I'm left with just a 15, so I add it to what I got, which was 100, and I get 115. So now for this next problem, we have 45 plus 55 plus 20. So to do this problem, we're going to find our 100. On the 100 that I see here is 45 and 55. So 45 plus 55 equals 100. We can cross them out because we used them. We're left with just a 20. So we can add that 20 to what we got, which was 100, and we're left with 120. For this next one, we're going to be using, it's not going to be directly a 10 or directly 100. We're going to be finding a multiple of 10, in which case it's going to have a 0 on the end, is what I'm, in other words, what I'm saying. So I can see that 38 and 22 will add together to get a multiple of 10. And this multiple of 10 is going to be 60. So I can cross these two out, left with a 16, add it to 60, 6d plus 16, and you get 76. Let's try another one. 42 plus 16 plus 38. I can see that my 42 and my 38 will add together to give me a multiple of 10. And in this case, it'll be an 80. 80 is my multiple of 10 here. So I cross them out because 42 plus 38 equals 80. Left with just a 16. I add it to my 80, and I'm left with 96. Hopefully this helps with some addition problems that you've been having. Yes.